will endorse this stand through the resolution that will be handed down, then implemented. As the words cannot describe what is taking place in Gaza and Ramallah, where hospitals, churches, schools, refugee camps, even ambulance vehicles were targeted in ferocious, barbaric fashion, unprecedented in history. We have all witnessed the bodies of innocent children scattered all across hospital yards. We all witnessed women getting killed, holding their babies between their arms, other family members searching for their loved ones under the debris. These painful scenes have been repeated for decades, and they will remain carved in our memories. Israel is trying to revenge what happened in October 7 in a manner that is not acceptable to many of us, by killing women, children, and elders. We cannot accept the acts of the Israeli occupation forces or the illegal settlers. Our fellow brothers in Palestine and the West Bank are also impacted. According to the UN reports, more than 12,000 Palestinians were killed in Gaza and West Bank, 73 of whom are women and children. This cannot be disregarded nor accepted as a pretext to any act. As the whole world stands in silence, this brings us to shame. Gaza is almost level to the ground, and the Western countries did not even call for a ceasefire. If you take a look at the recent incident where very few people were killed in Paris and all the heads of state marched hand in hand expressing their rejection. Yet, thousands were killed in Palestine without any head of state in the West moving a finger. It is nothing but utter failure. Those who remain silent in the face of injustice is complicit and in collusion. Those who are defending the United States and West, preaching on human rights and civility, were all exposed. We have seen the recent vote in the United Nations Assembly, only 101 votes in favor, while the rest of the world remain standing. We also wish that the states supporting Israel to listen to these calls. The Arab and Muslim world is standing united in the face of this solemn incident. And I thank and appreciate all the states who managed to deliver some aid in cooperation with our brothers in Egypt. We in Turkey dispatched 10 cargo planes, and yesterday a cargo ship carrying 366 tons left Turkey and will arrive today in Al-Arish port. We will spare no effort to continue to cater to cancer patients in the Turkish hospital inside Gaza Strip. On November 15, an international conference will be held whereby the spouses of the heads of state will be convened to an international conference. Our aim is to have the humanitarian aid delivered, and the prime goal is to reach a permanent ceasefire, not a temporary one.
Biz de söz konusu karara aynı şekilde yaklaşıyoruz. Ayrıca insani yardımlar kesintisiz ve sürekli olarak gerçekleştirilmeli.
Humanitarian pause is not a just solution. We seek a permanent ceasefire and safe passage be opened for delivery of relief aid, mainly fuel, to be delivered to the vital institutions, chiefly hospitals.
Tüm teşkilat üyesi ülkeler Mısırlı kardeşlerimize gereken desteği verir.
Similarly, the UNRWA has described Gaza that is now totally denied of all types of aid like an inferno. Border crossing points should remain open permanently. At the same time, Israel and Israeli officials must be held criminally liable for their crimes. This must be addressed by the United Nations, the International Criminal Court, whereby due investigations must be initiated. Speaking of the nuclear powers, the International Agency for Atomic Energy also must address this issue. The nuclear power possessed by Israel must be detected and identified. This particular issue, vital issue, cannot go unnoticed. This represents a grave threat to the entire region. Third point is compensation. It is one of the factors that Israel is acting recklessly, is that on every occasion they escape payment of compensation for each and every crime they commit, from destruction to the killing. Israel must pay compensations. It is Israel that must pay compensation. It is like a favored, cuddled boy. We cannot abandon our fellow humans in Palestine. We cannot abandon our brothers in Palestine. Therefore, a fund must be created under the Islamic Organization of Islamic Cooperation, be created to ensure the rebuilding of Gaza Strip. We in Turkey will do what it takes to contribute to this fund. We cannot speak of attempts of normalization of relations with Israel in the region without resolving the Palestinian cause. The root cause lies in the lawful rights of the Palestinians, namely the establishment of their independent state on the 1967 borders, the territorial integrity of the land, and East Jerusalem as their capital. We also believe that the International Peace Conference will be a foundation stone to safeguard peace, and to this direction we should continue to exert maximum effort, including a guarantor state, a state that acts as a guarantor for the Palestinians. This, no doubt, will restore peace, security, and welfare, not only to the Palestinians, but all the peoples of the region, including the Israelis. We must be cautious when it comes to safeguarding the holy sites in Jerusalem, as Israel attempts to impose a status quo on al-Aqsa compound. Many states in the region, including Turkey, hear from now and then the allegations by the Jews about the promised land, and to them we say Al-Aqsa Mosque is a red line to us. We hope that Palestine and Jerusalem will restore the glorious past days of security, peace, and welfare, and pray to God Almighty to provide support. And I end by praying to God Almighty to accept in His mercy the fallen martyrs in Palestine, grant speed, recovery to the wounded, and I hope this summit will be a means towards peace, security, and welfare to the Arab and Muslim peoples. And I end by praying to God Almighty to accept in His mercy the fallen martyrs in Palestine, grant speed, recovery to the wounded, and I hope this summit will be a means towards peace, security, and welfare to the Arab and Muslim peoples.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Allah Almighty.
Paduka Yang Mulia Pangeran Muhammad bin Salman Al Saud, Yang Mulia para pemimpin dan ketua delegasi OIC Forum, Assalamualaikum
Prince Salman.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Indonesia mendukung penyelenggaraan KTT OIC dan
पूरे पाकिस्तान ने माना। सालन और तेल के जिद्दी दाग हुए।
नाज़रीन इस्ताज़ातरीन फ्लेवर ने तो हिला दी ज़मीन. Don't ask me what I'm thinking. I can't stop winking. Thanks to the jalapeno. मिर्ची के धमाके के साथ लगा खट्टे का टमाटा तो मिला मुझे jalapeno का तड़का तो बोलो कन्या.